お前に面会人が来ている。
His father.
面会人。
ご子息をお連れしました。
Are you gonna turn around so we can see your face? Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Classroom of the Elite, Season 2, Episode 10. People, often deceived by an elusive good, desire their own ruin. Last episode. What happened last episode? I remember. Fushida. Her plan did not work. She failed the test. And she is now setting her sight on Kiyotaka. That's not the name I usually call him, but that's also his name. He's setting his sights on him. And then you also have Ryuen. That's like, okay, he's gonna use Karuizawa to bring out the mastermind. And then Kiyotaka is like, come at me. And I'm like worried about Karuizawa because I feel like even though I know that Ryuen's plan is probably gonna fail, I just don't relish what Karuizawa is gonna be going through before that happens because I feel like no one wants to get bullied, and I feel like she's gonna be bullied a lot this episode, and I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah, so that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelymini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comments in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
That's Italian, right?
結局、ペーパーシャッフルじゃどのクラスからも退学者は出なかったんだな。
よかったんじゃないかな。
そうだ。他のクラスを蹴落とさなければ、俺たちが蹴落とされる。
そうだね。
Ayanokoji. I was trying to trying to remember the name.
B クラスのリーダーが仲良く一緒にいるとはな。さすがは誰とでも仲良くなれるIchinoseってとこじゃないか。
いや。
私はあの子、ちょっと苦手かな。すべてにおいて完璧すぎるっていうか、理想的すぎるっていうか。
That's true.
完璧な善人なんて逆に不気味かもな。
でも私はそういう人がいてほしいって思っちゃうな。
変に肩入れしない方がいいぞ。
そんなことより、もうすぐクリスマスだよ。
Oh, we just had Christmas. We're still in a Christmas season.
清高くんはクリスマスの予定とかあるの？
俺？
うわー。何するのか気になったから。
Who's that? Looking at him. Is it the other girl? Something. Sato. Oh, Karuizawa. Oh, whatever. Either way. Whose message was that? I'm assuming it's Ayanokoji. I didn't clearly see it. Majority.
C クラスのやつに尾行された？
ねえ、どうすればいいの？
無視して問題ない。
Are you sure?
わかった。ああ、最近勉強会中のあんたを見張ってるっていう誰かのことだよね。でも C クラスの生徒じゃなかった。あれって確か A クラスの子じゃないかな。
Oh, okay.
A クラス。Sakayanagiの差し金か。
Probably.
なんかあったのか？朝から廊下でイチャモンつけてきやがったんだよ。あん無視してやったっつの。
Good.
俺は言いつけは守ってるからね。
ちょっかい出されてる生徒は他にも結構いるらしい。 今度の狙いは何だろうな。
気づいているんでしょう。
Mm-hmm.
そうとしているのよ。
つまりお前か。
Really?
私には何もちょっかい出してこないもの。
なるほど。
それで対策はある？
何も。
またあなたはねえ、あなたは協力してくれるのよね。
What?
A クラスに押し上げることに。
ああ。その必要がある限りはな。
官に返却してきてくれないかしら。
なんで俺が。
あなた確か読みたいって言ってたでしょ。帰活品薄のこの本が次にあなたの手元に来るのがいつかはわからないけれど、惜しげもなく時間を浪費して図書館に通うなら。
わかった。
Oh my gosh. Is it because of that or is it something else?
でもなったらその時は。
わかってる。
That's the Hiyori girl, right?
確か D クラスの綾小路くん。
I thought you said that their faces were forgettable.
好きなのか、エミリー・ブロンテ。
ただジャンルの違う本が置かれていたので正しい位置に戻そうと思ったんです。トロシーリー・セイヤーズはもう読まれましたか？
いや、まだ手をつけてないの。
これをぜひおすすめします。何か借りる本をお探しのようでしたので。
そっちは D クラスの誰かを躍起になって探してるんだろう。
私はもともと争いごとに興味はありません。
It's not so sweet.
皆さん仲良くするのが一番。
That is true. So
妙な
are
縁
you...
ができてしまったな。
I don't think it's a coincidence. So are you checking out both books?
綾小路、
What the?
俺に何か用ですか？
残念だが断る権利はない。非常に大事な話だ。
Like
お前に面会人が来ている。
his father?
面会人。
ご子息をお連れしました。
Are you gonna turn around so we can see your face?
清高
Expressionless as always.
お前のせいで一人死んだぞ。執事の松尾を覚えているか？ついとして懲戒解雇となった。
で、
先月焼身自殺した。恩人が死んだというのにまるで興味がないようだな。
そんな話で俺が罪悪感を覚えるなんて、確かに俺たちに最高の教育を施したかもしれない。あんたがくだらないと切り捨てた俗世間ってやつを学びたくなった。自分で決める。
これ以上時間を浪費するつもりはない。これにサインしろ。
あんたの命令が絶対だったのはホワイトルームの中だけの話だろ。
The red room, the white room, oh my goodness.
お前ほどの逸材は現れていない。お前は最も優れた私の所有物だ。最後の通告だ。退学届にサインしろ。お前に拒否権などない。
お久しぶりです。綾小路先生。
坂柳か。
What?
を引き継いでもう7、8年になりますか。
Sakayanagi。
Huh?
校長から話は伺いました。彼を退学させたいとの意向でしたね。
そうだ。
少なくともこの学校ではあくまでも生徒の自主性が最優先されます。
ものは言いようだな。本来合格対象にならなかったはずの清高をなぜ入学させた？秘密裏に推薦がなされ、その時点で合格は決まっている。裏を返せば
He's the one that did it?
しかし私の独断で入学を許可しました。自身が辞めると口にしない限り退学は許可できません。
それが詭弁に過ぎないことはお前。
Sophistry? I'm not about to look it up.
いいだろう。だが次はない。 よく覚えておくことだ。それはしばらく預けておく。
理事長、確認したいことがあります。
Why?
いる。
アリスのことかな？僕の娘だよ。
Huh.
を遵守し、ルールの中で生徒を守る。
あくまでルールの中でしか助けられないということか。
僕らが目指す育成方針がどんなものかは、この先、きっと分かってくる。
Okay. I don't know the purpose either. So hopefully, once he sees it, I'll say it too.
先生が嘘をついていたことは、もう理解してます。
ほう。
あなたは、俺の父と繋がってなどいない。あなたは A クラスに上がることに異様にこだわっている。これまでは生徒に恵まれなかったが、今年は違った。異国上に利用しようとした。父親に接触したという嘘をついてまで。あんたは俺を無理やり退学になんかできない。だったら頼みを聞く必要もない。少なくとも自分の出番は終わりだ。これ以上、個人的な感情で接触してこないでください。
何？
どうしてるかと思って
あ？
冗談でしょ？
な。真鍋たちからの接触はないか？
うん。あんたに確認したいことがあったんだ。
なんだ？
どうしてあんたは頭のいいのを秘密にしてるわけ？どころか学校中から注目されるかも。
He doesn't want that.
これまでもこれからも、俺は表に出て何かをするつもりはない。リサは。
何？
電話したのは、お前に一つ謝罪をしようと思ったからだ。
謝
お？
罪？
あ、
何よ改まって。
俺はもう D クラスが上に行けるよう手を貸すことはない。
じゃあこれからはおとなしくしてるわけ？
ああ、堀北や平田たちに全て任せるつもりだ。だから、俺からの連絡は、これで最後になるだろう。
え？
そのための非常用アドレスを除いて、証拠を残さないよう完全に消してくれ。
ちょっと、なんで急にそんな言い方になるわけ？
何がだ？
いくらなんでも、冷たすぎるって。
ご利用しいのか？
そんなわけないでしょ。
なら何も問題はないな。じゃあな。
Kelly, it is so cold. Ay, ay. That's it. What the? What the? He just, as I was watching that scene play out, and then I'm hearing the music, I'm like, this feels like a breakup, but it's not really a breakup between a couple. Even though from Karuizawa's side, it probably feels like one, but when it comes to Ayanokoji, he's just like, I don't need you anymore, so bye. In a way, he said that he's lost his motivation to want to get to Class A. I'm telling myself that motivation is going to come back sooner or later. I don't know from what direction, but it's going to come back. And the fact, I don't know. I guess the episode already sort of like told us what was gonna happen. That conversation between him and Suzune. That conversation between him and Suzune when Suzune was asking him if he was going to keep helping them go to Class A, and he said that as long as it's necessary, that's basically the show telling us if it's not necessary, then he's not going to. And that necessity just ended this episode with the arrival of his father. This guy shows up and he's like, someone's dead because of you, or you killed someone. I'm like, what? And he said that Matsuo, who was his butler, the father's butler, is the one that told Ayanokoji about the school. And because of that, he got fired. And then the guy set fire to his house or to himself, and then he died or something. And then he left his son behind out in the cold. And he's saying all of this to Ayanokoji. Ayanokoji, of course, with his blank stare, blank face, no reaction. It's like you're not even feeling any. Like you're taking this so well. And he's like, what, do you expect me to feel guilty about it? Because I'm not, basically. And that didn't do anything to Ayanokoji. Although sometimes I feel like, not that I feel like, but I hope that somewhere deep down inside of him, there's a twinge of something. But because of the education that he's received so far, he's learned to basically push or kill those kind of feelings, or push them way down deep where it doesn't even ripple at all on his face or in his heart, but it's still there somewhere, I hope that that's what it is, because I don't know, I just don't want to see him as this cold person, which is why when he apologized to Karuizawa, I was like, oh, he apologized, because he said he made her do things and that she didn't want to do and all of that, and then it's like, but this is where our relationship basically sort of like ends. But then when it comes to, I guess, those girls that were bullying him, if something happens, then she can still reach out to him. They say he deleted her contact from his phone. I told her to delete his contact from her phone, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's just it. And here I am going into this episode thinking that there was gonna be this torturous thing when it comes to Karuizawa, but it wasn't. It was just these Class C students like trying to what's the word that they use? Rattle the Class D students or something or other. I don't know, try to get them to react or something, but none of them were falling for it. Even Sudo, I'm like, oh, Sudo, that's good. And he looked at Suzune when he was like, yeah, I'm keeping my promise, I guess. But yeah. So I guess I don't know what Ryuen's plan is, because last episode he's gonna use Karuizawa basically to suss out the mastermind, but then this episode he's sending his students after Class D students. Everyone, I think, except everyone except Suzune. And yeah, like I don't know. When is Karuizawa coming into play here? So far, nothing has happened, so we'll see. So going back to the father and the son conversation. From what I gathered from that conversation, it seemed like at first his father was sort of like in the public school system, but then he left because he felt like they were inadequate or something or other, and then he created his own sort of like teaching method, which I'm gonna assume is the white room that Ayanokoji was part of. And his teaching methods, I guess, produced Ayanokoji, who's his best student or something or other like that. But Ayanokoji clearly wants to escape his control, and that's why he came to this school. And the father is here to make him leave the school voluntarily. He put out a form on the table, told him to sign it saying that he's voluntarily asking to leave the school or something or other. And then that's where um Sakayanagi, who's the chairman, showed up. Well, he showed up and he's like, um did he say long time no see? I don't know. Either way, I think it was the father that called him Sakayanagi, and I'm like, who? Isn't that the queen's name? No. And it turns out that the queen of Class A is his daughter. I'm like, oh, okay. And apparently Chairman Sakayanagi was his secretary. Ayanokoji's father's secretary, I think. Clearly he used to work for him or with him. But then he is not anymore, and he's now the chairman of the school. And apparently, at first, they were not going to accept Ayanokoji into the school. But then the chairman is the one that recommended him, and then they accepted him. And he told the father that unless Ayanokoji himself says that he wants to leave the school, then he's not leaving the school. And the father is like, whatever, and then he left. And after the meeting, Ayanokoji comes out and see the teacher there. The teacher, when she first told him about his father, and he told him that she wanted him to help the class get to Class A. And that's why Ayanokoji was doing everything so far to help the class, right? But after having this conversation with the father and Chairman Sakayanagi, he realized that the leverage that he thought the teacher had on him is not there. Okay. So because of that, he feels like he doesn't have to do her bidding anymore. And her bidding was for him to help the class go to Class A. And the reason why she asked that is because that's what she wants. She's been the teacher of Class D for like so long, and all the students that they've been sending her so far, I guess, were not as exceptional as Ayanokoji was. And realizing that with him on the roster in her class, the school can get to Class A, and she wants to go to Class A. She bluffed that she had a relationship, I guess, with her father. And because of that, Ayanokoji was doing what she wanted. But now that that lie has been debunked, he's now like, I don't have to do what you want me to do. And ever since he showed up in the school, he's been wanting to lay low. That's what he's been wanting. But then the teacher's like, do this, and then he was doing it. But then the reason is now gone. So it's like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm just gonna let Horikita and Hirata do their thing. I'm just gonna be there in the background and participate when they want me to, but I'm not gonna be actively trying to get this class to Class A, But like I said, yes, he made that decision right now, but something else is gonna happen that's gonna have to push him, I guess, into wanting to reach Class A. And that probably will come from Ryuen with all his scheming into discovering who the mastermind is. Or maybe since Ayanokoji still wants to stay in the background, and when him and Suzune were talking about the fact that Ryuen wanted to find the Class D mastermind, and Ayanokoji's like, isn't that you? And she's like, Ryuen doesn't believe that anymore. Maybe now that he wants to stay in the background and not actively pursue going to Class A, he's gonna make things, I guess, manipulate things in such a way that Ryuen will be 100% convinced that Morikita is the mastermind of Class D. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Um, Ichinose and the queen, Sakayanagi, were being chummy. And what was her name again? Haruka? Haruka was saying that it felt that not that she doesn't like Ichinose, but that she's too perfect. And that someone that's too perfect is a little suspect, and that a person should have some kind of flaw, but Ichinose just feels too perfect, too good at everything. And when she said that, I'm like, should I be side eyeing Ichinose too? But when Sakura said that she hopes that there are people like Ichinose, the way she portrays herself right now, to be that there are people like that in real life. I'm like, yeah, hopefully there are. I'm sure there are. But it's like, is it the case with her, or is she just putting on an act? Who knows? I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is going to be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it, and you can watch it right now, and you can also catch up with all my previous Classroom of the Elite reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Where the Son of God to find,